Hello everyone, this is Psycho. The Season 9 balance changes have introduced some new competitors into the meta, so we will be going over the best weapons you can run in MP as of Season 9 2023 based on their role and category. This list will not be in any particular order, so the order in which we will mention the weapons is not indicative of whether the weapon is better or worse. But before we get into the list, an honorable mention goes to the Grau 556. It features competitive overall TTK and a comfortable rate of fire along with very low recoil and decent BSA. This makes it an easy to use weapon that doesn't excel at anything in particular but doesn't have any significant downside. So it's a safe option especially for beginner players who don't want to commit to any one playstyle. But the lack of any specialization is also the reason it's only an honorable mention and not on the list. Starting off with the aggressive SMGs, there are the weapons you look to when you want to play entry, pushing into objectives and clearing them for your team at close range. Starting off with the Switchblade X9, which is arguably the best overall option for this role due to its great mobility, easy to achieve close range TTK of 213 milliseconds, and fast reload speeds which allow it to easily compete up close. It also has surprisingly good recoil and BSA for a close quarters weapon, meaning that you can stretch out the ranges a little bit further than its competitors. The build we suggest focuses on improving range and mobility. If you're looking for something that is a little easier to use, then you can use the QQ9 instead, which trades some BSA and reload time for more consistent close range performance, as its close range TTK is not affected by any of the multipliers, making it better for those who are less comfortable with aiming high. The build for this one is pretty much identical to the SX9. The Fennec is also a really good option, having the best time to kill if you can land chest shots at 162 milliseconds. And even if you don't achieve this potential, its time to kill is still in line with other CQC weapons at 216 milliseconds. Its fire rate is also way faster than most weapons, being the second fastest in the game, which makes it extremely forgiving when it comes to missing shots, although it has the most recoil and flinch out of the three options, so it is recommended to build for accuracy without ruining mobility. Next we have the flex weapons. There are the weapons that can handle most situations, mainly mid-range, but some of them can even perform well at closer ranges as well. The first one being the CBR4, a weapon that everyone and their mother has used at least once. While it is not as effective at long range due to the BSA and flinch nerf from the past season, it is still a really good option at mid-range that is very easy to use due to its lack of recoil, good time to kill, and large base mag, even capable of holding its own against other SMGs up close. The build we recommend is pretty much the same as before, boosting the range and accuracy while maintaining mobility. Another option you can go with is the PDW-57, which has been steadily receiving nerfs over the past seasons and is now a phenomenal flex SMG. Similar to the CBR, it features very low recoil, competitive time to kill, about a frame slower than the CBR, and a large mag capacity. But unlike the CBR, it also has better BSA, range, and some of the best mobility out of all the SMGs. All this at the cost of having a slower than average reload time, but that can be negated with sleight of hand, which is what we have in our recommended build. The rest of the build is very similar of that of the CBR. Next we have the FFAR-1, an assault rifle with a very high rate of fire which gives it a competitive overall time to kill, and if you can land headshots, you will even be able to kill faster than most SMGs up close. Its low recoil and good BSA allows it to take longer range fights, and it can be built to have solid handling and mobility for an AR thanks to the BO Gunsmith. This makes it a great option for those looking for a well-balanced weapon that can somewhat compete at closer ranges. Our build focuses on improving mobility and handling while boosting its ranged performance with the Task Force barrel. The Krig 6 is also another great flex AR. Just like the FFAR-1, it features the BO Gunsmith, which allows you to boost mobility and handling with very little downsides. But unlike the FFAR, the Krig 6 is more so focused for those longer ranges due to its better BSA and excellent range profile, which gives it an infinite 5-shot kill and a great potential 4-shot range of 40 meters, if you can land a single chest shot. The only downside is that it's the least effective weapon at close range compared to the other top flex weapons, as the time to kill and fire rate are just not quite fast enough to compete at close ranges unless you get a headshot. Just like the FFAR, our build improves handling and mobility while boosting range. The last flex we have here is the HVK-30. With large caliber equipped, it has an infinite 5-shot kill just like the Krig 6, but it also has the ability to 3-tap for a time to kill of 181 milliseconds semi-consistently if you can land torso chest shots. Headshots are extremely rewarding as well, giving the potential to 2-tap on the first and second ranges if you land both headshots. It also has good BSA and recoil, which allows you to make use of its great effective range. But it does have a small mag size of 28, which makes it difficult to take on multiple enemies, and you may have to pick up guns on the ground if you plan on going for long streaks. Our build focuses on improving its 3-tap range and improving accuracy to be used at longer ranges. Then we have the main ARs, or anchor weapons. These are meant for those who want to stay back and pick off enemies from a distance. The first of these is the only LMG on the list, and that is the UL-736. It features a very strong upper body multiplier, which means that in most cases, it will be a 4-shot kill even at longer ranges. This combined with its decent BSA and recoil makes it incredibly lethal at long range. The multipliers also give the potential to 3-tap in the initial range, which results in a very good time to kill below 200 milliseconds, which partially makes up for slower handling. Although this does require you to land all upper body shots, which might not be the most achievable in most circumstances. The build we provide maximizes its long range performance by boosting range, BSA, and recoil control. The LK24 has been becoming quite popular as of the recent seasons due to it being the best AR for long range thanks to its next to no recoil, low flinch, good BSA, and excellent range profile. And while it may not have the best long range time to kill, you can make up for it by landing a single headshot combined with one upper body shot, which allows you to 3-tap. The build we provide is similar to the UL's, improving range and accuracy. The Kilo 141 can be used as an alternative to the LK with better mobility and fire rate, but at the cost of worse recoil and multipliers. So if you want to use a passive AR but don't like the slower handling of the LK and UL, use this instead. The build is mostly geared towards maxing out BSA and reducing recoil for long range. The last category of weapons are the DMRs, which have the highest skill ceiling out of all the weapons due to their top tier performance at long range while still having the potential to outgun even SMGs up close if you can hit your shots. But the semi-automatic firing mode of these weapons will make them a lot harder to use, especially for those who only play with thumbs. The most well-known example of this is the SKS, being able to one-shot headshot at any range and 2-shot as long as you hit the upper body. This combined with the fire rate gives you an amazing TTK of 165 milliseconds. Although being a marksman rifle means that it has quite a bit more flinch than other weapons, so you have to build it to be slower in order to mitigate that. The last weapon we are going to mention today is going to be an unexpected one to most players, but the newly buffed ASVAL with the 15-round FMJ is an excellent alternative to the SKS now. You can think of this as a lightweight version of the SKS with significantly faster mobility and handling than the SKS, meaning that it is better at keeping up with the faster paced meta than the SKS. It also has better material penetration than the SKS, which makes it better for wallbangs. However, its fire rate is slightly slower than the SKS and it doesn't have an infinite 2-shot kill, being limited to 42 meters with our build, so you aren't quite as effective at long range when compared to the SKS. Our build is one that boosts range while also maintaining the mobility of the weapon. And those are all of the best weapons you can use this season. Let us know what weapons you use this season in the comments below, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. This is Psycho, and I am going dark.